Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week Wisdom and Legacy Building podcast. This is day 386 of our trek, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. Every Wednesday, along life's trail, we will dig for the nuggets of wisdom that are found in the book of Proverbs. Today, we'll explore the first half of chapter 14. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. It's good to be back on a normal schedule this week. For the past 2 months, I have invested my morning exercise and devotional time working on the renovation projects. While it still provided a good opportunity for physical activity, it is good to get back on the treadmill for my 5-mile run each morning. I'm also able to work on other exercise routines before my run. The morning schedule allows me to have my devotional and meditation time during my exercise. As we do refocus on our client work and newer projects, I have some catching up to do to clear the backlogs that have formed. We will get there one day at a time, since none of us are promised more than today, and that is sufficient for me. In case you missed yesterday's Wisdom Trek, we have started a very short segment on Tuesdays and Thursdays of each week, which we call Wisdom Unplugged. It is a short 1 to 3 minute wisdom nugget featuring a wisdom inspirational quote designed to be a supplement on those days. Let me know if you enjoy these mini treks by leaving a comment at wisdom-trek.com or emailing me at guthrie@venturecg.com. As we head out on our trek for today, let's dig for those nuggets of wisdom that fill the book of Proverbs. Today we will dig in the first half of chapter 14, and today's trek is Laughter Can Conceal a Heavy Heart. So let's start in with verse 1. A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. If you are wise, either as a woman or a man, you will take the necessary steps to follow God's principles to create a home environment that is nurturing and helpful for the entire family. This requires selfless acts of love. If you are foolish, though, you will primarily think of what is best for yourself and make decisions based on selfishness. This will result in the destruction of the home. Ideally, all family members should have the concern to look after each other and foster a proper home life. Verse number 2. Those who follow the right path fear the Lord. Those who take the wrong path despise him. It really does not get much simpler than this verse. If you desire to be a good and godly person, then you will learn, understand, and apply God's precepts for your life. By doing so, you'll follow along the trail that is best for your life. If you choose to ignore God's precepts, then you will find yourself on the trail that leads to destruction in your life. Verse number 3. A fool's proud talk becomes the rod that beats him, but the words of the wise keep them safe. Words are so important, and every time that you open your mouth to speak, you should do so with caution. If you are proud and speak that which is foolish, it will come back to harm you in the same manner as getting beaten with whips or rods. In contrast to this, if your words are wise, they will be a hedge of protection to you, protecting you from harm. When you speak the truth, you will not have to remember what you said, because it'll be the truth each time. Verse number 4. Without oxen, a stable stays clean, but you need a strong ox for a large harvest. When you work, life may get messy and difficult at times, but that's okay, because the fruit of your labor will be worth it. Yes, life may be easier in the short term if you are lazy or not productive, but you'll soon go hungry. Work hard and be strong like an ox, and then you'll produce a large return. Verse number 5. An honest witness does not lie. A false witness breathes lies. If you are honest at your very core, then you will not lie regardless of the situation or the cost personally to you. Situational ethics is so prevalent that you need to be very careful not to fall victim to that thinking. It will become a habit to a person who practices lying. Lying and breathing will become one to that person. This unfortunate person will get to the point in their lives where they do not even realize that they are lying. Verse number 6. A mocker seeks wisdom and never finds it, but knowledge comes easy to those with understanding. If a person is proud and mocking God's precepts, even if they seek to become wise, never will, because true wisdom comes only from God. If you seek wisdom and understanding from God, then you will easily obtain knowledge, wisdom, and insight. Verse number 7. Stay away from fools. You won't find knowledge on their lips. We need to be very cautious who we invest time with, because we will become like them. If you hang with fools, you'll become a fool. You can tell if someone is a fool by the way they speak and act. Their lips will show the lack of basic knowledge and common sense. Verse number 8. The prudent understand where they are going, but fools deceive themselves. When you are prudent, then you will set goals and make decisions that are wise and attainable. You will clearly know your purpose and direction that you would like to pursue in life. But if you lack wisdom, then you may think that you are setting a direction for your life, but without clear purpose for your life, you will deceive yourself and wander aimlessly. Verse number 9. Fools make fun of guilt, but the godly acknowledge it and seek reconciliation. If you are foolish, you will not accept responsibility for your life, and therefore not understand the reason to seek reconciliation when you do wrong. If you are good and godly, when you do make mistakes or cause harm to another person, you will seek forgiveness and work toward reconciliation. Verse number 10. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one can fully share its joy. No one can fully share in sadness or bitterness that you may experience. Some people may be able to empathize to you to an extent, but it will not be to the depth that you may feel. In the same manner, if you are joyful and rejoicing about a positive situation, others may share in your joy, but not to the same extent. Verse number 11. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the godly will flourish. Eventually, if a person is wicked and does not follow God's precepts, even if they have a grand house, it will not last. In contrast, a good and godly person, even if they only live in a tent, their family will flourish because their lives are not built on material possessions. Verse number 12. There is a path before each person that seems right, but it ends in death. You may make plans for your life, but if it is not based on God's word and His precepts, then regardless of how grand your plan is, in the end it will result in death and destruction. Verse number 13. Laughter can conceal a heavy heart, but when the laughter ends, the grief remains. You need to consider and be sensitive to the needs and hurts of others. You never know for sure what another person may be going through at any point in time. Although they may appear happy and even jovial externally, it may be a mask covering a deep and lasting grief. Get to know others on such an intimate level that you understand what their true heart is feeling. Verse number 14. Backsliders get what they deserve, and good people receive their reward. If a person chooses to ignore God's word and His laws for life, eventually they will harvest what they have planted in life. The converse is also true. If you live a good life according to God's word, with consistent persistence, you will harvest an abundance of what you have planted. Verse number 15. Only simpletons believe everything they're told. The prudent carefully consider their steps. It is good to trust others, but you must also verify what you're told is the truth according to God's word. You need to be prudent and consider your trails in life. Verse number 16. The wise are cautious and avoid danger. Fools plunge ahead with reckless confidence. It is certainly wise to show some restraint and caution in life so that you do not become involved in dangerous situations. Those who are foolish act before they think and will pay the price for their thoughtless actions. And then the last one for today, verse number 17. Short-tempered people do foolish things, and schemers are hated. Controlling your temper is always good. Losing your temper is always your choice. When you do lose your temper, you will fall prey to saying and doing things that are foolish. You will become known as someone who schemes and cannot be trusted. When this happens, others will avoid you and start to disdain you. Today's trail was once again filled with nuggets of wisdom that can be easily consumed, digested, and then allow them to strengthen us each day. Don't just listen to God's word, allow the precepts to become habits in your life. Tomorrow we will have another short segment of Wisdom Unplugged, where we will cover another inspirational wisdom quote. So encourage your friends and family to join us and to come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks, they are available at wisdom-trek.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Treks so that each trek will be downloaded to you automatically. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com, and thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.